Hello, Comet Nation. If you've been around our schools for a little while, you may have heard about the mission of our school. But today in our moment with Marc, we're going to hear about how our classroom teachers incorporate that into their everyday learning.
Equipping is a big part of my job. I always say in my classroom, there's a couple buzzwords that always come up for junior year especially. It's discernment and empathy. Right? Why do I teach a world literature class? Well, I want us to read stories from various cultures and religions and think about thoughtful discernment as we do that. And that thoughtful discernment in the context of a nice, safe literature class at our Christian school, where I kind of frame everything in a safe Christian way, is able to prepare the students to go out into a big world full of all kinds of different worldviews and know how to use discernment out there. So that's equipping them there. And then the other key buzzword is empathy. How do we love and care for people, right? What's the second greatest commandment? Love your neighbor. How do we do that? Well, for me as a literature teacher, it's we read stories. And when we read stories, we see through other people's eyes. To Kill a Mockingbird says, you need to take a walk in other people's shoes before you understand them. And that's what we do when we read stories. And in world literature, we read stories from around the world. We read a book by a Muslim writer. Now we can see the world that way a little bit and have some empathy for our Muslim brothers and sisters. Not to agree with everything they believe, that's where the discernment comes in, but to still be able to love them even where we disagree. So those two things in tandem are absolutely necessary.
You know, we equip kids with various skills and knowledge, and we inspire them with opportunities to use those, whether that's in the classroom or with projects that we do. And challenging them is trying to make the connections between this isn't just there's school and there's the real world. This is the real world. This is part of God's kingdom. Are we going to build God's kingdom here at school? Because this is the world you live in right now, right here in this classroom. And then the challenge and what are you going to do beyond these walls when you're older? And I think we try hard to do that.
Literature belongs to God, world cultures belong to God, media belongs to God, and therefore we can find God in those places. And sometimes it's a little tricky. It's not always obvious, and I don't want us to sit down and read, super simple things, whether just reading level easy or just the idea is really easy. I want us to read things that challenge us, that stretch us, and watch movies that challenge and stress us, that aren't just for entertainment, but teach us things deeply and challenge our worldviews, but in a healthy, strengthening, working out your faith muscles kind of way.
A lot of it is getting them to be able to separate their behavior from their own intrinsic worth. That we believe and hold it to be true that every human being has been made in the image of God, and that their worth doesn't come from who they are right now. Their worth comes from God. Their salvation comes through Christ. And every single one of us makes mistakes. It's what do we do with that? Do we live in that moment? Do we stay in that space? Do we say that, well, nothing can save me, I'm just going to keep doing the same things over and over? Or can you separate your behavior and say, I can change my behavior, and that will make me more the kind of person God wants me to be? And especially being Dean of Students, which is getting to encourage kids to do what's right and help send them back on the path when they do things that are wrong, we develop a relationship that hopefully they feel like I'm on their side, that I want them to become everything that God wants them to be, to develop their talents, to develop their friendships, to take the gifts they've been given and use them in the best ways rather than the worst ways. So, yeah, I'm teaching with people that I once taught, and that's just absolutely amazing. I'm starting to see the kids of students that I had in the past, which really makes me feel old, but at the same time, to know that this is a community that has made people want to bring their own children here and be taught by me or all the other people that have been around for a long time, that we're doing something good for God.
Kalamazoo Christian Schools is an
academically excellent
Christian community,
equipping,
inspiring,
and challenging students
to love and serve Christ
in the world.